recorded. So this session is an introduction to speaking for Christian Aid, or a refresher for those who want one. So what we'll cover is arranging your speaking engagement, a kind of public speaking 101. So what's involved is the planning, the non-verbal communication, and the CA principles and good practice. Again, I'm kind of assuming no knowledge, just so that I cover as much as possible. But please just say if what I'm saying is really obvious. And then finally, the kind of pre, during, and post speaking engagement with a few top tips as well. So just a bit of an overview of how things will work. So first off, the local CFO will receive a speaking request that will come in either via our website or via our central team at Christian Aid. What they will then do is they will reach out to you to see whether you are available on said date and match you up with the local church. And then what we will do is we will connect you to the church. And if the church does have what we call a church rep, which is somebody that represents Christian Aid, that might do fundraising for Christian Aid or might have requested the speaker in the first place, we will connect them with both the church leader and the church rep. And why that's important is on the day you might be really busy with preparing for the speaking engagement, but the church rep themselves might be able to support you with the kind of behind the scenes thing, behind the scenes, maybe setting up tables. They'll know the local knowledge a lot more maybe than you will. And so it's just a really good connection to have. And then they can also support you after the service as well, if you wanted to, if anybody had any questions or wanted to kind of develop in some way as well. I'll go through the booking form in a little bit, and the equipment that you might need and the planning as well. So the speaker request form looks a little bit like this on the screen. Apologies, it's a little bit small, but you will receive a speaker request form which will have all the information on. So I'll have the venue and the address, the date, the contact person, and then kind of the aim of the visit. Around Christian Aid Week, it does tend to be can you just tell us the Christian Aid Week story and the impact that has had on the community or on the individual as well. But some really key information that will be on there as well, other than the kind of logistics of time and date and contact detail, will be any maybe potentially Bible readings that they might want to cover. The resources that we offer, like Francis said, the sermon notes and suggested sermon notes are linked to the lectionary readings that tend to be used as well around that time as well. And then also maybe some information around the type of service as well. Is it a family-led service? Is the young people or the children going to be in? Would they like a talk that's aimed at children or young people as well? Are you going to be doing that? Are you not? All of that type of information will be on the speaker request form as well. And then finally as well, what technology and equipment is available? Ooh, sorry, I accidentally pressed forward. What technology is available? Is there a projector? Is there internet? Can I play a video? Is there sound? All of these questions are just really vital to know before. Again, speaking from experience, because I've been to services, assuming they were able to play a video and then getting there and saying, oh, we don't have a projector. So just making sure that we have that information beforehand so that we can prepare our talks in advance as well. Before I move on to the kind of public speaking 101, is there any questions about the speaker request form?
No, I think that's pretty clear. So I think what I'm kind of like struggling is to join the dots between CFO request and, we're clearly using the material available, but what sort of, how you put it all together, basically, in terms of how you craft it.
Yeah, so what will happen for yourself is Anifa will receive a request. She will contact you and say, Ian, are you free on this date to speak in this church? And if they say yes, Anifa will connect you with the local church, and then you will receive all the information that they've put on the form. So you'll be able to have a bit more of an idea. But to be honest, any questions that you have, you can go straight to Anifa and she'll be able to answer those for you or provide any extra resources that you might have. So say, for example, there's maybe something unique about the the booking form, please go and speak to Anifa and say, even go back and say, I don't think I'm best suited for this if it's a particular Bible passage or maybe style that they want. It's okay to go back and say, I don't think this is the right fit for me as well. Don't feel pressured into doing that.
Okay. Are you going to send us these slides afterwards?
Yes, I will. Yeah. All the PowerPoint and the recordings of the other breakout rooms will be available as well, because obviously you won't be able to go to the other breakout rooms. So.
Perfect. Thank you.
Anna?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask if there would ever be a situation where we would have to kind of reach out to churches to ask to come and speak about Christian Aid Week and how we go about doing that.
Yeah. So when you after tonight's Zoom, we'll send out an email. There'll be a link to Bats and I's breakout room, which will be all about how we can reach out to local churches as well. It tends to be that it's responsive to requests that come in, but we do want to actively encourage our speakers. If you've got networks, if you've got churches, being a youth pastor as well, youth leader, it may be that for your volunteer speaking, you want to aim it at the younger audience as well, or maybe speak at something like that. Any connections that you have, if you think this would be a great opportunity, then please utilize those and speak to your local CFO about that. Does that kind of answer your question in terms of it? Predominantly, I think for this year, it will be about responding to requests that come in. But if you do have any opportunities, then absolutely, we would encourage you to explore them and just speak to the local CFO about that as well.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thanks. Okay, so public speaking 101. So 3 skills really that I think are really required for public speaking. So good preparation, positive non-verbal communication, and then we'll look at Christian Aid principles and good practice. So with regarding preparation, as you plan, consider the following: audience, purpose, timings, equipment and resources. So as I was mentioning before, what is the audience? What age is the audience? What is the church background? I want to encourage you, if you are asked to go to a church, just maybe look on their website and see, is there something on their website that hints a little bit more about what their church is passionate about? So maybe you might get a little bit of information on their website about they might be a justice-seeking church, so maybe your talk might want to focus a bit more on justice, or maybe they're a really inclusive church, or they're heavily invested in children or young people, and it might just help you shape your talk as well. Again, the speaker booking form should have a bit of information about that. There's a specific question that says, like, what's the age range? What's the kind of what age do we want to target this talk at as well? And then, sorry, let me just get my notes up as well. And then the purpose. So what is it that you want to achieve? What is it that you hope to do in the time that you've got? How long have you got as well? All really important questions to consider and to ask as well. So I want to encourage you to know to speak and be very clear on what the topic is. Can you watch the Christian Aid Week story video as part of that? But if not, make sure that in preparation that you read the story and you really understand the purpose of that talk and what they want to achieve as much as what you want to achieve as well. And then timing. So how long have you got? In some churches, they want you to speak for 5-10 minutes max. I was once at a church where after about 45 seconds, the church leader was looking at his watch. So it can vary, but again, speaker booking form will give you that information. But just in advance, in your preparation, just check in. Can I be very clear? How long would you like me to speak to? Because again, it does differ. But also the time after the service as well. So the the church talk is obviously really important and really essential, but also we do play a part after the service as well. Over, maybe can we have a table to have some resources or a space for people to come and speak to me after the service as well, and just planning that into your speaking engagement as well. And then, as I mentioned before, the equipment. Can I share a PowerPoint? Is there a video? What kind of style of worship is the church? And then just being very clear, what is it that you would like me to do? Is it just the talk? Would you like me to lead prayers? Do you, as a speaker, do you feel comfortable about doing that? If not, just letting them know, I'm happy to do the talk, but I don't want to lead prayers or any other part of the service. That's absolutely fine as well. But just being clear about that and making sure that you know and they know in advance what's coming next. So Francis shared about the resources before, but just a reminder, really, we have a number of different resources. We've got prayers that can be used. If they do say, would you be able to lead prayers? We have an order of service, and we have liturgy, and we have written prayers down as well that can be used as well. We also have a PowerPoint that can be used as well. Oh, sorry, I don't know why this keeps changing. We also have a PowerPoint that can be used as well, with pictures and examples of the story that can be used as well. And then an order of service, as I mentioned before. So just a few examples of positive non-verbal communication. Always encourage to smile as we're talking. Enjoy doing the talk as well. Head up and looking straight on. I've always been encouraged to say, if there's something at the back of the church or the venue, to fix your eyes on, maybe either an individual or maybe something at the back, just to make sure that we're looking straight on as well. Free arms as well. So I'm quite bad at kind of flailing my arms when I'm speaking as well. So maybe just making sure that either you keep your arms to the side, but also using your arms as well and your hands as a gesture as well. And then finally, making eye contact. So as I said, looking straight on is important, but also interacting with the congregation as well. So maybe looking around and encouraging people to communicate with you in that way as well. And then we've just got a few minutes left, so I just want to share finally some good practices as well. So the first one is what we've coined use plain English. What I mean by that is using terms that are widely understood and avoid jargon or kind of specific language that maybe might be known to you, but might not be known to other people. So just considering, is the church a church where English is the first language? Are there other additional languages as well? And avoid using acronyms. So if you're talking about the Christian Aid Week story, just making sure that if there is an acronym in there, use the acronym, but then explain what the acronym means as well. Using the active voice and the second person rather than passive. So as an example, saying your donation is helping people hit by recent earthquakes to have warmth and shelter. That's an active voice, a second person, rather than people hit by recent earthquakes will be helped to have warmth and shelter. Is that kind of inviting them in and encouraging them to be part of the answer as well. Be conversational and direct. Again, don't assume. This is something that I've always encouraged myself as well. Don't assume everyone knows a lot about Christian Aid. Actually, you will be the expert in the room for the majority of the people. So a good rule of thumb is to imagine you're talking maybe to a relative with little or no knowledge of Christian Aid, and then speak as if you're having a conversation with that person. Speaking, being direct and respectful, but informal, clear, and use words like we're and you're, including them into the conversation. And then finally, always engage to inform. Simply informing people about issues of global poverty and injustice can feel really overwhelming, and it can contribute to a sense of despair, that nothing can be done. And so telling the human story, we heard the videos today that Jay shared, kind of sharing that human story can be a really powerful way of kind of going, that there is hope, despite the difficulties that we can see, there is hope. And here's an example of a community or an individual of where their lives have been transformed by this work as well. Again, kind of remembering that quote that I shared earlier on about Henri Nouwen, about this being an opportunity to invite people into the vision and a vision of change as well. Very well, we've got 1 minute left. So just some top tips to finish off. So the first one is making a connection with the church rep and leader that we're speaking to. The second one is to order some resources. So make sure that you go prepared with envelopes, maybe, or speaking to local CFO to ask for any impact or maybe emergency responses, so that if somebody asks you, because effectively you're representing Christian Aid. Sorry, we're being joined 2 minutes. We're going back into the room. So just before I finish, consider how people are making donations. So making sure that there's envelopes available, or there's another way of donating contactly as well. And then finally, just remember to say thank you. It's a good opportunity to thank them for maybe a fundraising event that they are doing for Christian Aid Week, or have done, depending on the time that you're doing your talk as well. So I hope that's been helpful. Please feel free to reach out to your local CFO for any other questions that you might have in the lead up to your Christian Aid Week talk. Thank you.